Hey guys, D1sco here, and today I'm reacting to the casting of Frankstone of Welcome to Cedar Hills. I skimmed through it very briefly, as in I literally took my mouse and scrolled it along the video link thing. And what it looks like to me is this is going to just be talking about it more so than so yeah, let's do this.
The casting of Frankstone is set in a imaginary piece of northwestern America, Cedar Hills, a town that's probably gone through a lot of regeneration. It was a town built around a steel mill, and that steel mill went bust, and it became repopulated and then become redeveloped in a careless kind of way. So you have a lot of clash and a lot of bits of the leftover. So there are old pieces amongst the new pieces. There are people who've come here because it's close to where they need to work, and they don't have any of the values of the original inhabitants. And the original inhabitants' ideas become lost, but they're still there under the surface to be picked out.
On the outskirts of the town is the Cedar Steel Mill, and it's a massive industrial complex, and we see it earlier in the game when it's still active, and you've got the giant furnace tower which kind of looks like this industrial haunted house. And then later in the game we revisit the same location, and it's since been closed and it's been abandoned, and it's all overgrown for over a decade, due in no small part to the events that happen earlier in the game. One of the really great things about it is when the player, but also some of the characters, are able to retread some of the same footsteps that characters do earlier in the game, and you start to see an echo of some of the tragic events that happened there in the past. There are particular locations where there's a real sense of death in the air.
What is that?
There's one particular location in the mill that's quite key, and that's the furnace chamber. Earlier in the game, the furnace chamber is alive and brimming with fire and energy. When you then find it again in 1980, there's been lots of overgrowth, lots of rust, and a sense of nature taking over. But in this particular place, anything that has grown here has since died. For whatever reason, there's just something that's off about this place. It just killed anything that's tried to grow here.
It's a place I'd like to go and make a movie.
What do you guys think? I say we do it.
Sounds good.
We are using Unreal 5. We've been really focused on that from the very beginning. It's one of the first projects from Supermassive that's using that platform, which is very exciting. We've been able to harness lots of new technologies because of that engine upgrade. We are using Lumen for our environment lighting, which gives us a lot more flexibility and increased quality. We're also using Nanite for all of our environments, which allows our artists to include so much more detail in the final product than they were before, which is very exciting.
Nanite's this new virtualized geometry which enables us to have incredibly detailed geometry throughout all our environments. So whereas before we'd have to heavily optimize all of our game meshes so they can run efficiently, it also means that we can do our own scanning for photogrammetry, which is where you take a lot of photographs of something and you can generate a completely lifelike representation of whatever that object is. So with Nanite, we can just drop it in as is, and we keep all that incredible detail and realism in our environments. There's a particular road that's just about 20 minutes from the studio, and we went out and we scanned the verges. They've got these really high verges, and the road surface itself, because it happened to be the time of year that's correct for the game. So we went out and we did it when we could, which is in the autumn. The leaves all looked exactly right, and that now appears in the game. I hope that's something the players start to look around and they start to see some of these nods we're making to Dead by Daylight and some of the iconography of the entity and the lore and all that kind of stuff there. And as they explore further, we're hoping to strike this balance where it's kind of scary. You don't want to press on, you want to just get back in the car and go, but there's something about the place that piques your interest and you want to go and explore it, maybe against your better judgment.
I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but there's more than one way into that mill.
Oh, interesting. So if you pre-order it, I did not know. So one, I didn't know it has a release date yet, the casting Frankstone. Sorry, I was so silent. I was just kind of watching. It's September 3rd. Interesting. That's coming up. A few weeks, or like a little over a month or something. I don't remember. but kind of what kind of piqued my interest in my hypothesis, because they just kind of are glossing over it. It says, you know, it says you get instant access to the Plunderer's Instinct feature to aid you in your search for hidden collectibles. I don't know what that means, but I guess if you pre-order the game, you get that. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. I probably will pre-order it if it works out, but again, as I mentioned in a previous video when I was kind of talking about Lara Croft, I'm waiting for something in the mail that will solve an issue, so that way I could do stuff like that.
Switch to Chrome to load your
Somebody better pick up that ringing phone, because I called that there would be an ad. I know it didn't say anything, but like I bought it right before it happened. Anyways, honestly, it was definitely interesting hearing some of the thoughts behind the project. I've seen so many of these videos. I've seen pretty much every video so far of like them having the developers talk, and it's definitely interesting to hear what they have to say about the project. The project looks really cool. I like the differentness of it compared to Dead by Daylight, you know, because they're saying the same. But yeah. Anyway. But yeah, I mean, that was definitely really cool. Very happy I decided to watch that and kind of hear some of the developer thoughts. And I didn't know that this studio has never worked with Unreal Engine 5 before. I'm not a game developer, so that doesn't mean a whole lot to me. I mean, I've heard of it because I played a ton of games using that system, and they're all so different. It's really impressive what you can do with the engine. But in terms of like knowing how difficult making this game was or stuff like that, that all blows over my head. I honestly have no idea. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, ring the bell, do all the algorithmic garbage. It helps us out a lot, and it means a lot to us. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.